I'm going to tell you the story of emotional and intellectual intelligence growing, evolving, the evolution of a human being as it's developed over the last few days, and how I'm seeing the fruitfulness in maintaining my strong boundaries. There's a man, we talk, we have common interest in the SCA and stuff like that, Society for Creative Anachronism, Middle Ages, and things like that. So he had told me how he's looking for his third wife. And I'm reminded of how Oprah Winfrey had said, serial monogamists are perpetual optimists. He would tell me about his grandmother, how she would always play April Fool's jokes, like putting salt instead of sugar for the men to put in their morning coffee. And I put the pieces together. I said, well, yeah, that's her passive-aggressive way of expressing her anger and frustration at her lot in life. And that's why the men never got her back for it. They were acknowledging that she was getting the short end of the stick, and they let her act out. That's not my preferred method of dealing with things, but that's the way they dealt with them in the old days. And he complained, how his sisters with some really aggressive guy, like really unpleasant. And I'm like, well, if she's in a passive-aggressive environment and she can't handle it because it's not honest, it's not forthright, then yeah, she'd rather be with an outwardly aggressive guy because at least it's there. You can see it. It's honest. And it's like, I used to wish that I had experienced more physical abuse, had bruises and cuts and broken arms, than the emotional abuse, because at least then I had proof. Irrefutable proof if it's physical. And then yesterday, when he was helping me, let me use his phone and be an emotional support to me, he was keep getting, dings for a message, and we'd all jump like, the phone, is that it? Are we going to get through? Do I get my voucher on time? No, it's a woman he's been messaging back and forth. And he says, oh, I'm just telling her that, I'm helping a neighbor. I'm not putting a gender on it. And my response was, I don't want to be your dirty little secret. He says, you're not my dirty little secret. She's just somebody that I said, but there's an emotional intimacy that you two are developing with one another. And he acknowledged it, and he said yes. So he messaged her and let her know that it was a female neighbor that he was helping. And it occurred to me in full this morning, there's a twofold effect there. One, he has the need to make people laugh. That's his passive-aggressive way of dealing with conflict manifesting in his world. And that's fine. If that's the way they want to handle it, that's great. I have no complaint about it. You're honest about it. You're just not going to be able to make me smile when I don't feel like it. But that helps him be okay with himself and understand what he needs in a relationship. And if she can't accept that he's going to help a neighbor, then she's not going to accept his wanting to make people in general laugh, because those people are going to be female. And at the same time, in order to do that, he has to relinquish any ideas he may have had in seeing me as anything more than a friend. And by doing that, he becomes a true friend to me. And so my strong boundaries and learning how to express them in a softer way, not be like, no, I'm not going to be your dirty little secret and go stomping off, but to just put it there and let him chew on it without judgment. I've gained myself a true friend. And I don't remember the last time I had one of those. And in doing these things, dealing with the emotional aspect of it, we're making more intelligent choices in our relationships and how we relate to the world. And somebody may say, okay, he's going to settle for, that less than what I consider ideal, perfect, relationship where it's not passive aggressive. But that's not settling for less. That's settling for the same thing. It's not settling at all. It's bringing it up and putting it in a brighter light where there's more self-acceptance and acceptance of one another. And finally, I get to be who I need to be, who I was born to be. And I get to be appreciated for it.